In this video, we will demonstrate how to use the Teragence Signal Checker functionality and combine it with other geographical data to identify those properties that will be of most interest to target for an indoor coverage solution. And we're here talking about residential properties, but the logic equally holds for business premises. So to do that, we need to identify properties that have bad signal strength. But not only that, we also need to look at people who have enough money or who care enough about bad indoor signal strength that they want to spend some money on that. So those are the two filters that we will apply on the geographical data that we have available. To identify properties with bad mobile signal, we use a rule that we say at least 3 of the 4 mobile operators need to provide a bad signal, and bad signal is identified as minus 110 dBm. And on the other side, to identify their ability and willingness to pay for it, we use the property values as a metric to identify those properties that people are likely to have a bit of money to spend on an indoor solution. And combining those two filters will enable us to shortlist those locations where people will be most receptive to an indoor coverage location, which can then be targeted with outbound marketing. To show what that looks like in practice, I'm going to go and bring up our QDIS system. Here we go. And for the purpose of this exercise, we're looking at an area in Kent outside of Ashford. This is postcode zone TN25. If anybody has an interest, so that's described by this black line which curves to the east of Ashford. We see all these black spots which are, if we zoom in, look like shapes, and these are all the shapes of all the properties, all the buildings in that postcode. Now, so if we zoom out, we come back here, and so what we can do is we can map the Teragence Signal Checker functionality on top of that. So here is, for example, EE's LTE coverage, and we can see that there are clearly patches of good and patches of not so good. So around the major motorways, it's very good, but we see here and here and here some soft patches. Equally, we can do the same, say, for O2. Let's bring that up. So O2 has some problems here as well, and some softness here as well. We don't need this entire coverage map. What we can do is we can use the property shapes that we had previously and intersect them with the signal strength that is valid for them specifically. So that's what we are doing here. If we do that, I'm going to take this away. We can color each property in function of the number of operators that provide good service. And so that's why each property shape is colored. And basically, we color them from green to red. Green means that 0 operators or 1 operator provides bad service, but 3 others do it good. And red is the opposite. So orange here and this lighter yellowish means that at least 3 or 4 operators provide service that is really substandard. And it's really those 3s and 4s that are of interest to us. So I'm going to take the ones that are not of interest to us away, so we can see that we have a lower number of buildings appearing, only the buildings that are of interest to us. To illustrate then the point about the value of the properties, we are going to go here, and I think this is really interesting, right? So we have this road here, the Frith Road, that runs from Stone Cross to Aldington, and what we can see if we put this on the map is that in the east side of the Frith Road towards Aldington, things are actually pretty good, right? So here in the center of the village, most properties get at least 2-3 operators providing good service. But if we go here to the west, things turn more orange and yellow. So it is on the west that we want to focus. And then to show the other filter of property values, if we hover on this shape here, we have the address of the property, we have the estimated property value, in this case about 1.3 million. That property estimate is not as precise, so there is a margin of error around that. We can see that at least 3 operators deliver sub 110 megabits not megabit, dBm of service, which is not very good. And even Vodafone is, average at best. The last check that we can do is we can check out the property itself using Google Street Map. So if we click this, we get this view of the property, and we can see it's a very nice 2-story setback from the road property, which is probably occupied by people who are not of the poorest. So we can target this property specifically with our indoor solution. And so we can do that for every property around us. As you can see, they're all scored. Each one is scored. We have a property value, and then we have the signal strength for each operator and the address. And that enables us to target those properties with indoor coverage solutions with a higher likelihood that your proposition will fall into receptive ears. And as I said, this is an example of residential properties in a rural location. We can do the same for business properties or anything else. I hope this is useful, and thank you very much for your attention.